good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Depend on your time and your location. This is your own, a proud United States of Biafra citizen, We Biafra TV. From my location, I am sending you a warming greeting and happy weekend also. Happy Christmas in advance. From this location, I am sending you this message right now, and I am also calling on you to join us, like, and share the program. And your comment also, if you may. That is why we're here this evening. We are here to start on the grassroots of where we are and what we are doing, and why people need to follow the truth. Because this truth is very, very bitter. It's very, very bitter. Amy Justice, good evening from Amy talking, good evening from here. Yes, so I wish you too, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being the first with the comments on this page this evening. Thank you for that. So, dear friends, if you look at our headline, we want to go back to grassroots first. Because I found that we jump many things because of exactly what is going on. So for us to meet some certain thing that is happening, for people to know, then we decided to jump up. Now we want to go back to the grassroots from today. We will be bringing the message step by step, inch by inch, paragraph to paragraph. So for you to simply understand the declaration that every country that you are seeing today, that they have all made a declaration in the past, and they become a country after their declaration of their independency of their new country. So our own are not going to be exempted, or is not going to be a different from the way others achieve their own. And after other countries, many countries in the world achieve their own independency after their declaration under external secession of UN Charter and Articles that surrender what we are doing, they went ahead to even some of them open school, rent school in abroad, and try to educate their people for the meaning of declaration and why they needed the new country and how the new country is going to favor all of them. They also stay in abroad, teach their people how to value their culture and understand their history of who they are. A country like Namibia did that in the past. Algeria in Africa did that in the past, and many other countries. Then it was well rooted to me, or understand very well, that even Bangladesh did the same thing to their people by trying to let their people know the full meaning of the declaration and why they all have to stand on the mandate of the declaration of their new countries, one after the other. So today, as a proud United States of Biafra citizen, I want us to know the meaning of our full declaration of United States of Biafra, so you can be proud of the achievement of the United States of Biafra led by Tongozi Arabueze, and the why that the declaration is a savor of life to you all. One of our sisters always use one English. He told us that the the declaration is a child of necessity. The declaration is a birth certificate. And after the declaration of a new country, many other things that we have been discussing about follows. But I find out that we jump the full meaning of the declaration. And why the declaration is very important is two things we are going to discuss this evening. So please pay attention. So you will know why you are defending the mandate. You will know why you are defending the declaration of the United States of Biafra. You may know why perfectly, why you are going to defend it, and why you must appreciate those that are still today standing tall on the side of the truth of our real declaration of the United States of Biafra in our time. That is why we are here this evening to bring words from the international community, what they know and what they want us to do, how other countries in the world today becomes a country by making the official declaration and stand on the mandate, refuse to fall back, use the name of their declaration to push for be free. That is how many countries we have, many countries that we have introduced to you, their histories and what they have achieved after the declaration. That is why we are here today, to let you know that it is the right of you and I to protect this mandate after our official declaration. So, please remind me that before we close this program today, when I open phone calls, please, I want you to remind me that I have to send a message to Go 247. So, after our real declaration, because of the ongoing genocide, because of the inhuman treatment, because of the abuse of the rights, and all that's happening in Nigeria today, that marginalization, all are inclusive, why we stood up on November 29, 2024, to make official declaration of the United States of Biafra that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu fought in 1967-1970, that caused a very genocidal war against the Biafran people, that we lost life of over our 5 million children, that Nigeria used hunger starvation and end up their life. By doing that, Nigeria commits a war crime. Nigeria committed what? A war crime. And that crime that Nigeria committed is what is causing all the problems that people are passing through today in all over Nigeria. Without Nigeria rendering fully apology to Biafran people and recognize Biafra, now that we have declared Biafra, Nigeria are going to face more disgrace. More calamity is coming upon Nigeria. More calamity is coming upon Nigeria. The level of calamity that is coming, what you are seeing is a child's play. Many top countries in the world that are going to denounce Nigeria totally. They are going to ban Nigeria, and I can see Nigeria territorial integrity being shaken. Nigeria territorial integrity is being shaken. With only what happened to Nigeria in the hands of Burkina Faso is an example that Nigeria is no longer what people think. Nigeria only live in the eyes of the breeze, not as a country anymore. So, why we are here this evening to prove to the world that we have achieved, or we have followed the line that America followed in 1776, July the 4th. We have followed the road that Namibia followed in 1976 to 1990. We have also followed the road that Algeria followed. Many Africa's countries in the world that are in exile and make their full declaration of their new country because of things that surrenders them, and things they are seeing. The same thing that triggers America to designate Nigeria on a particular concern is the same thing that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu saw in 1967, 1970, and they say no, that Nigeria is not a country, and they also trying to adhere to the words of those who claim that they are the forefather of one Nigeria. Nnamdi Azikiwe said that Nigeria is not a country, that is a mere geographical area. Tafawa Balewa in 1948 said so, that Nigeria, that British has tried to manage these people, but they are not one people, because a criteria for you to be a one country, you must have the same culture value, you must somehow have the same ideology when it comes to Christianity and what you believe to worship. Nigeria lack all this. So we are here this evening to let you who believe in the declaration, for you to stand strong and for you to know that the way you are standing is what law supported so much. Not the law of 2025, the olden days laws. Then they also interpreted all these laws to meet the criteria of the new modern day laws that they joined together for you to have your country, and the rules that things that when they are happening, that the only option you have is self-determination under succession of external that leads to independency of a new country, that people are going to agree to merge together, like we, the people of United States of Biafra, that we merge together to make our official declaration on November the 29th, 2024, that even those that have joined us on this declaration, they all have chied away and moved out. They have all walked away because they did not understand the meaning of the declaration and what the declaration stands for. Ugo 247. Adando to show more, come being whatever you think. They do not understand what the Declaration of Independence mean. That thing that happened in Finland, that's the way they see it. That thing that happened in Finland on November 20, 2024. They do not understand it. They don't know what it simply means. That is why you see people today misbehaving and be shying away from the truth and be using their head to put rope on their neck. Hey, Coach's 040 is very long. It's very, very long. Equem Justice. Good evening from here, my brother. You're always here, even though if you come today, you come earlier as you join us. So let us crack a little bit joke with things that happen in Nigeria before we move direct to what brings us here this evening. Like I am playing my preamble of what you are expecting right now to come from me. What I am bringing this evening is 2 in 1. The full meaning of the declaration under international law, and also why that the declaration is important under international laws. This is what you are going to, this is what I am bringing to you this evening. Is 2 in 1. 2 in 1. And we are going to go like this until we finish this particular aspect. We want to go to the grassroots to bring out. Because after receiving a prayer from a sister yesterday, inside that prayer, they was telling me that I should go down to read that, that I jump it up. So I should go and bring from primary 1 for us to know exactly where we stand and this time around. By minute, paragraph by paragraph, and we can be able to achieve our official recognition. Because when you understand the meaning of the declaration and the importance of the declaration under international law and under international communities, then you will know why you are seeking for recognition and why it's important at the stage that we are into. Let us use those who claim that they are the GO in Nigeria, who will tell you to come and buy oil to keep you alive, and when you die inside their church, they just concocted any kind of coffee to bury you. But what happens to them, they will buy gold, slaver to bury their own. Let's crack this joke as we move on.
Yes, say Jeremiah spend millions of naira go buy gasket for a mama. Jeremiah, shame to you.
God have mercy upon us.
Yes, every day you dey for your church, they wake dead body when your members not even know where they come from. E reach your mama turn, you go spend millions of naira go buy gasket.
Go there, they go.
Jeremiah, e reach your mama turn, instead of you to call on that Jesus to raise your mother up as you dey raise others, e reach your mother turn, you go buy gasket. Jeremiah,
God have
when your mother don dey happy say she don born pikin when they raise their body, say if she die im pikin go raise am, e reach mama turn. Jeremiah, you go buy gasket for your mother. Shame to your member. On Sunday now, you go see all im members now, they go dey holla, daddy get power, daddy get power. People that has no brain to think. You claim you have power to raise their body, you have been doing it in your church. This is your beloved mother. You go buy gasket, spend millions of naira, buy gasket for mama, instead of you to raise your mother. Shame to all of you.
I will pause this thing.
I stop this thing now. All of una dey look and laughing at me. Like say don't go smoke again. For many of una go realize wetin I dey talk for here. The whole world go down and leave us.
Yes,
I hear
that
say,
is why I play. There is one we I want us to pick up something here. That the people of the inside of Jeremiah could not be able to think. When others die, Jeremiah will raise their own up with the abracadabra. But when Jeremiah's mother died, cannot be able to raise it up. There's a comment here from Amy Justice. Black people who do this to us. Exactly. Aromero, yes. Aromero. Anebu Achala. Good evening from here. Kenekwange, but my brothers don't drink. So, this is also how all the members of IPOB could not be able to think. This is how all the members of IPOB could not be able to think. They are into long time agitation that has no endless movement. The same thing has happened to Go 247. Happened to all these groups of cities today. They could not be able to think. They could not minus 2 plus. They could not minus 2 from 10 and come back to reason. That is why we are bringing this program today from the grassroots, from what it means. The full meaning of the declaration of the United States of Biafra under international law. That is our first headline this evening. Then, after we have finished this one, we will go to importance of the declaration under international law and the under international communities. These are two things we are going to dive in right now. Like I said, you know how we do it here. I am doing it here the way I see people teach their own in this area. Yeah. They will play the voice, their sons and others will listen from there, they will do the analysis. So, in case anybody who could not understand our small English comes in, please pay attention when we are playing the voice. So you from there you can know why we are here and what we are doing here this evening. So now we are going into what? We are going into the Declaration of Independence under international law, what it means fully. Listen to this.
In international law, a Declaration of Independence (DOI) is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of any other power. While a DOI is a powerful symbolic and political act, its full meaning involves a complex interplay between legal facts and international politics. 1. The legal status. Is it illegal? Under international law, a Declaration of Independence is generally considered neutral. No general prohibition. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory opinion on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declarations of independence. Domestic versus international. While a DOI may be a rebellion or illegal under the domestic law of the parent state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it a violation of international law. Exception: unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal internationally if it is connected to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the illegal use of force by a foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. 2. The two theories of statehood. A Declaration of Independence is the first step towards statehood, but international lawyers debate when that statehood actually begins. Theory. The meaning of the declaration. Declaratory theory. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government. The DOI simply declares a fact that is already true. Constitutive theory. The state does not exist until it is recognized by others. The DOI is an invitation or a proposal that only becomes real once other states accept it. 3. The Montevideo criteria. For a declaration to have real-world meaning, the new country must satisfy the four criteria established by the 1933 Montevideo Convention. 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people. 2. A defined territory, clear, though not necessarily undisputed, borders. 3. A government, an effective political authority that exercises control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations, the ability to sign treaties and engage with other states. 4. Self-determination versus territorial integrity. The meaning of a DOI often hits a wall where two core principles of the UN Charter clash. Right to self-determination, the right of a people to choose their own political status. Territorial integrity, the right of existing states to keep their borders intact. Because of this tension, international law rarely recognizes a remedial secession, the right to break away, unless the group is facing extreme human rights abuses or is being denied any participation in the parent state's government. 5. Practical significance. In reality, the full meaning of a DOI is determined by recognition. UN membership. Getting a seat at the UN is the gold standard of independence. This requires a recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 permanent members have veto power. Diplomatic immunity. Until recognized, the leaders of the new country may not have sovereign immunity, and its passports may not be accepted for travel. Key takeaway. A Declaration of Independence is a unilateral act that signals an intent to become a subject of international law. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself, and whether the rest of the world chooses to acknowledge that reality. Would you like me to look into a specific modern example, such as the legal arguments surrounding Kosovo, Taiwan, or Somaliland?
I hope you pay attention. I will play it more once again before we go into our little analysis to our mummies in the Biafra land and our daddies, our sisters to understand and join us. So the only thing you could do for me is to like and share this program. Please, and also tag Ugo 247, tag Obieze, tag all these fallback gangsters, or tag all these Nzamirian. Let them come here. Let us discuss. Because the Biafra we are looking for is not where we come to narrate what we want. We can see news of Nigeria narrated in our own way. We can see news of things happening around the world narrated in our own way. But when it comes to these movements after this our declaration, it's no longer in our capacity to narrate declaration and recognition in our own capacity. That's why we must jump up. That's why we must follow the transition. where it's taking us to. The real new dimension that Obatobi bring, that Mazda Nekano saw into the life of Master Simon and said that we must follow him, that he has come to bring the new dimension. The new dimension that Uche Chokukano cannot bring. The new dimension that Chike Dozia cannot bring. The new dimension that China Samoru and all the so-called IPOB organization can never bring. Then Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the president of the United States of Biafra, saw this thing inside Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So inside Mazen Simon Ekpa, he told us that we must follow him, cheer his program accordingly, that he has come to bring a new dimension. The new dimension is the criteria that leads to our official declaration of the United States of Biafra, that international laws back it up, that international bodies back it up, that it is our right. That is why you must continuously thanking Simon and also appreciate our DPM, and also bow down for the president of United States of Biafra, Mazen Nnamdi Okukano. Listen to this again.
In international law, a Declaration of Independence (DOI) is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of any other power. While a DOI is a powerful symbolic and political act, its full meaning involves a complex interplay between legal facts and international politics. 1. The legal status. Is it illegal? Under international law, a Declaration of Independence is generally considered neutral. No general prohibition. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory opinion on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declarations of independence. Domestic versus international. While a DOI may be a rebellion or illegal under the domestic law of the parent state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it a violation of international law. Exception. Unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal internationally if it is connected to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the illegal use of force by a foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. 2. The two theories of statehood. A Declaration of Independence is the first step towards statehood, but international lawyers debate when that statehood actually begins. Theory. The meaning of the declaration. Declaratory theory. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government. The DOI simply declares a fact that is already true. Constitutive theory. The state does not exist until it is recognized by others. The DOI is an invitation or a proposal that only becomes real once other states accept it. 3. The Montevideo criteria. For a declaration to have real-world meaning, the new country must satisfy the 4 criteria established by the 1933 Montevideo Convention. 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people. 2. A defined territory, clear, though not necessarily undisputed, borders. 3. A government, an effective political authority that exercises control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations, the ability to sign treaties and engage with other states. 4. Self-determination versus territorial integrity. The meaning of a DOI often hits a wall where 2 core principles of the UN Charter clash. Right to self-determination, the right of a people to choose their own political status. Territorial integrity, the right of existing states to keep their borders intact. Because of this tension, international law rarely recognizes a remedial secession, the right to break away, unless the group is facing extreme human rights abuses or is being denied any participation in the parent state's government. 5. Practical significance. In reality, the full meaning of a DOI is determined by recognition. UN membership. Getting a seat at the UN is the gold standard of independence. This requires a recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 permanent members have veto power. Diplomatic immunity. Until recognized, the leaders of the new country may not have sovereign immunity, and its passports may not be accepted for travel. Key takeaway. A Declaration of Independence is a unilateral act that signals an intent to become a subject of international law. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself, and whether the rest of the world chooses to acknowledge that reality. Would you like me to look into a specific modern example, such as the legal arguments surrounding Kosovo, Taiwan, or Somaliland?
Now we are going to do our analysis. We play, we pause, we explain. We play it, we pause, we explain. If you are here, please, your comment is important, and also like and share. If it is your first time coming, there is a 3 dots on top of your screen on your right hand side. Look on top of that screen where I'm pointing my hand. You will see a 3 dot there. Click on it, it will open. You will see like and share. Please endeavor to do that, please. And we are watching this program because we don't want the program to be so long so Biafrans can listen towards it. That is why you need to like, you need to share as you join us. Please endeavor to do that. Endeavor. So now we continue. International laws. A declaration of independence, DOL, is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of other powers. That's what happened here. That's a declaration of that's a formal declaration of independence is a political or by a political entity that is a sovereign state, independent on any other power. Our declaration is what? Is our power that we have in any country in the world. Once you make this DOL, the official declaration of a new country, you have become a sovereign entity. You have automatically becomes what? A sovereign entity. Once you made this declaration of independence, in bracket DOL, you have become what? A sovereign state on your own that are seeking for international recognition. Let's play a little bit and we pause.
In international law, a Declaration of Independence (DOI) is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of any other power. While a DOI is a powerful symbolic and political act, its full meaning involves a complex interplay between legal facts and international politics.
Are you hearing something? That's why I said people should tag Google 247 to come and listen. Remember that out of the declaration of a new country, what happened in Finland is out of what? Politics under international law. Why a DOL is a powerful symbolic and political act, you go 247. It is a movement of a new country is all about politics, diplomatic, legal. In this 21st century, that the protest has been, that everything has been changed. That everything has been what? Changed. It is why DOL is a powerful symbolic and political act. It is fully meaning involving in a complex interplay between legal facts and international political. Are you hearing? It is all about what? We go 247 and all those inconsequential. It is all about politics by making official declaration of a new country. It's not just come and dance and go. It's not where everything I think must surely come. Do I want it? No. They say that this is a symbolic and a political act. When it's called declaration, it's why only a politics who understands what is going on can manage the situation at hand. That is why it is very imperative that the Biafran people understand where we are. The declaration of the United States of Biafra is what? Number one. So when you look at everything that is going here and look at our declaration, and the Ugo 247 and the other peoples are telling you, oh, Ngozi Orabeze jikwa wekpota Toshi, na Toshi ebu Toshi one namani, no the politics of one Nigeria. We need those politicians to move ahead into what we are doing. And the Biafra movement, yes, it's not about a family. Let this message go to this our write-up of our brother Coaches 042. Go to all the IPOB family and Uchechi to know that the movement of Biafra is not about, it's not a family project, but rather it is a movement of the indigenous people that decided to carry out. So, when you look at everything that we are playing out here, how involved, how important it is, this declaration of the United States of Biafra, they said it's a powerful symbolic and political act. It's only politicians play politics. If you are not, you dare not play the game. It's only politicians understand this criteria here. That is why I am urge you as a Biafrans for you to know that the first thing that America achieved in their own time, that the people of the United States of Biafra has achieved it. What Namibia achieved, we have. What South Africa, what Eritrea, what Namibia, what Algeria, Angola, name them in the past. The US government are on that the same mandate and on that the same principle to make sure that America understand why Biafra is a solution. Somebody must work towards that. So, the full meaning involving in complex play between legal facts and international politics. Once a new country is being declared, once you make a declaration, your matter has been transferred from not internal, it becomes external, where international politics must be played. Without playing this international politics, the country is not officially declared. But once it is officially declared, what happens? You will be on top of the game of the international community to play the politics with countries in Africa, for them to know that the people of the United States of Biafra understand our inalienable rights that make us to make a declaration of the United States of Biafra as our own country, which is in our right to do so. So, let's continue.
1. The legal status. Is it illegal?
Let's know the legal status is it illegal? He asked a question. Let us find out.
Under international law, a declaration of independence is generally considered neutral. No.
Do you hear that? Under international law, a declaration of independence is generally considered as what? Neutral. As what? Neutral. That this is neutral. A declaration of well, you know, once you talk about official declaration, don't you see how it sounds neutral from everything? Like when you said IPB organization, a fallback bridge. But when you talk about the United States of Biafra, we are declared, you see how that word sounds, and everything becomes okay. So, my people, what we are bringing to you this evening, we said we want to go to the grassroots for you to stand and know that a declaration of a new country makes you a sovereign state, and it's also what gives the international community chance to act into it, to hack into the movement, to recognize you. And they said, they look at it here, between legal facts and the international politics. It's politics that we are playing. We go 247. It is all about politics. It is all about the movement of people and how they can achieve it. We cannot achieve Biafra recognition with our own common senses. That is why we need to do more, my people. generally considered as what? Something that is very neutral, the declaration of the new country.
No general prohibition. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory opinion on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declarations of independence.
Sorry? I hope you are listening. No general prohibition. Nobody prohibits people to gather together with the same ideology, the same belief, to say this is who we want to be. Nobody is not prohibited under the UN Charter or ICJ. None of them is being shattered. So, when you are listening to this kind of news this evening, you may understand. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 adversary options of Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declaration of independence for a new country. They did not prohibit anything about the declaration of the new country. It is the right of the people to stand up on the mandate and declare their nation and stand on it and use that name to seek for their international recognition like every other country in the world. To receive their flag. Thank you so much for coming. Now, in 2010, I said famously, a country called Kosovo, that the law did not prohibit, there is no law that prohibits declaration of a new country. No law. There is no single law. Look at it here. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory option on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against any group or any people that decided to make a declaration of independence that leads to a sovereign state. That after declaration, you push forward to meet the criteria and push for international recognition. A declaration of independence of a new country is out of politics that leads to the full recognition of the country, of the new country to become a country. This is what we have achieved, or our government level achieved on November 20, 2024. In this case of declaration, we are not only the one that have gone through this way. That is why they bring you in this modern day movement of a new country about Kosovo in 2010. Listen.
Domestic versus international. While a DOI may be a rebellion or illegal under the domestic law of the parent state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it a violation of international law.
We are pausing for you to understand. Domestic versus international. Why DOL may be rebel or illegal under the domestic law of the present state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it violation of the international law. Because of the declaration of the maybe people of Spain looking for Catalonia to be a country, they did not violate any law by doing so. The people of the re-declared United States of Biafra never made any mistake for our official declaration of the United States of Biafra that's going to lead to international recognition under Political Movement Act. Who got to they belong to this one People's Club of Nigeria. They are politics group of people. That is what we need to achieve our country, because they said here that it is out of political or politics. That is what it simply means. We are dealing with the full of declaration for you to see this evening that the declaration is very, very important into what we are doing. The declaration makes you automatically a sovereign nation that also give a right to international community or other countries in the world talk about you. Without America standing up in 1776, 4th of July to make the official declaration, there is no way Morocco will recognize them. In 1777, after a year and 6 months, there is no way France could have interfered. It could have been an internal matter between the Great Britain and the people of America. But the official declaration of United States of America in July the 4th, 1776, gives Morocco go-ahead order that this movement is no longer internal affair of the Great Britain, but rather it is external affair that every country feel like they like America. We play the politics of what? Of recognition. And what happened in the year 1777, Morocco recognized America. As you know that Morocco seniors America in time of history of countries, the oldest country in the world. Morocco joined among them. Morocco grants America international recognition to prove that they are fully a sovereign state after their declaration officially. Why do you need declaration? You need declaration to prove the way we are fighting under one Nigeria. That means a death sentence to every indigenous people. That we have the right to live. And that is why our declaration also proves that our matter is no longer internal affair. Rather, it is under the UN Charter Article 2, paragraph 4 in bracket 2, that self-determination under secession external, not internal, not na nke anyị nwa, no nke ndị ọzọzi or every other person to intervene into the matter. That is why they told you here that the law did not prohibit external secession of independent movement of a new country that leads to official declaration that makes them a sovereign state that lacks international recognition. When America is being declared America as a country in July 4th, 1776, when they make the official declaration in 1776, what happened? When they make this declaration, they make it for their movement to become, moving out from the Great Britain to become external affairs. So other countries around the world can come in to ask Britain to leave them. Like what Namibia did in the past, what Algeria did in the past, what Angola, what Ethiopia, what Eritrea. These are countries that have moved away from countries to country and become and have their own independence. Why all these countries I am mentioning here, all of them have government in exile with enough of a group. Yes, Anebu, thank you so much. Remember the code of this platform. Hashtag Nigeria government and British. Free Maz Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra. Hashtag Finland/Nigeria government. Free Simon Ebanjoko, the prime minister of United States of Biafra. Also, hashtag African countries recognized United States of Biafra as a solution of the darkness that is in Africa. We move, my people. There is a country called Catalonia in Spain. They never make official declaration. That is why nobody is looking for them, and they still remain under Spain. A time they come out, they want their own country, and this blah blah blah. After one or two things, what happened? They go back because of the killing, because of the injustice, because of the abuse of rights, because of intimidation, because of marginalization of the so-called One Nigeria and their members. That is why the people of Biafra has took this place of ICJ in 2010. That is why. Please, if you join me, if you never like the program, I don't know what you're still waiting for, please just touch the like button, like and share the program so others may know that we are live and we are direct this evening, please. We're running fast because we may join one of the biggest programs in few hours. That is why we are running very fast like this, so you may understand it. Listen. Remember where we are. We are treating the full meaning of declaration of independence for a new country. That word, declaration, that is what we are trying to narrate to every layman understanding. And I hope that we are making a small sense, my people. Hope that we are making small sense. Exploitation, unlawful force. Listen here.
Exception. Unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal internationally if it is connected to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the illegal use of force by a foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus.
Listen now. It is coming to us. For those who are looking for Woto, for those who are looking for Woto, listen, in this modern day, having a new country or purchasing to have a new country, both the IPOB organization, both those claiming that they are CRC, those claiming that they are fallback people, come and listen to something. Expectation, unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal international if it is content on a violation of fundamental norms, such as the legal use of force by foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. Today, Northern Cyprus has they been organized on the international community countries? The answer is no. Do you know why? Because of armed struggle in this modern 21st century. Because of armed struggle, that is why Northern Cyprus is never been organized on the international global community or being a member of the UN, despite the years of their declaration. Because of what? Armed struggle. Because after their declaration of Northern Cyprus, they still continue with armed struggle. And the world says no. Look at here. The declaration is only considered legal on internationally. It is a context to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the legal use of force by foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. When you are fighting for a new country, there is how it is in this 21st century. It's no longer like that way it is in the time of the colonial masters. No. The movement has turned around. The movement has changed. the movement has changed. It's not like what we think. Once you make a declaration, the movement must change to focus and stand on the existing protocols and the criteria and the template of those who has been there or was being mapped out for you to follow to achieve your recognition. If a child must go to school, he must stand from primary school, from primary 1. And anybody who is entering school today, are you the first person? Are you not standing on the existing protocol of those who has been there? That is why they will tell us sometimes when exam coming in, they will ask you, go and research and search old question papers of those who has been there before you. Are you following? Easy way, good evening from here. Chidwen Manuel, good evening from here. I greet you. I hope we are making common sense, my people. I hope we are making common sense. I hope so. If you have common sense, let us know in the comments so we may continue. If we are making common sense, I want you to comment in the comment section that we are making common sense, my people. And we also understanding what we're here to do this evening. So do you want what happened to Northern Cyprus to happen to us? Is it what you want? Is it what? Thank you so much. Coach, I can see you. Thank you. This is what IPOB cannot be able to achieve because they are not genuine. Not only that they are not genuine, they don't know the road to have a new country. On top of that, here comes Emmanuel Greg. Good evening from here. Until Mazen and the Kanu see that man who knows the road, and he said, we must follow him, that he is here to bring a new dimension. And today, the new dimension is what? Re-declared of United State of Biafra, USB in brackets. But I'm going from here. Northern Cyprus, till today, refused to get their normal official international recognition because of armed struggle, because of Woto. The same thing with Kosovo. These two countries, in the history of two of them, after their declaration, they still go back and carry arms. And they said, in this 21st century, that it is illegal whenever you finish the declaration and you go into armed struggle. That they adopted United Nations Charter prohibit that and they see it as an illegal. And also that the present country like Nigeria, where Biafran people are fighting for, will be charging anybody they grab from, they arrested or they kidnapped. They will be charging them terrorism, and all manner of criminal charges. Because of what? Armed struggle. After the declaration, according to the UN Charter and all this law within this evening, they said, drop your armed struggle. If you have tried it in the past, that in this modern having a new country, you will never use Woto to get the recognition. They give us example of Northern Cyprus. Those who choose Woto. And in all these years, they have never achieved recognition. Why others that's made the same criteria, the same movement they take with peaceful movement, has done their own recognition. So which one do you wish us? The Biafra we are looking for, the movement where we are right now, is not what we think. It's not in our, if I'm the one, I'm using this way. No. You must follow this existing criteria. That is why I give you history of schools. When you have a child who is to enter primary one, from pre-nursery to primary one, are you going to throw the child throw the child up to other childs in school? They must follow the existing criteria of those who have went to that school. That's why they will tell you, go, and if you are in JS3, if you are in primary 3, you want to enter primary 4, there's a time they will ask you to look for past question paper or question and answer of those who have been there before you for you to read. They will also look for their note and copy for you to see the road that you used to pass out from the school. It's not what we do on our own. It does not matter. Because those that are giving us recognition keep a laid down criteria. They keep laid down templates that we must follow. Let's go on.
2. The two theories of statehood. A declaration of independence is the first step towards statehood, but international lawyers debate when that statehood actually begins.
Listen carefully now. A declaration of independence is the first step towards statehood. To become a full sovereignty, you must make a declaration. They said it is a first step. But international laws debate when the statehood actually begins. Immediately the declaration ends, the international community starts counting the activities of this new country. They start debating their movement. They start debating their action. They start debating the way they have carried themselves. That is why we must be careful. The world has banished woto. I'm struggle. They don't want it anymore. They do not want it anymore. Just continue.
Theory. The meaning of the declaration. Declaratory theory. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government. The DOI simply declares a fact that is already true.
Listen here. The two ways it is. The two ways it is to achieve it. Full declaration. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government, and the DOL simply declares facts that is already true. The declaration automatically makes us a sovereign state that lack international recognition. Let's continue. The declaration is simply mean the existence of a new state, that a new state has emerged. That is what the official declaration. That is what it is.
Theory. The state does not exist until it is recognized by others. The DOI is an invitation or a proposal that only becomes real once other states accept it.
After the declaration, you are not existing in the eyes of the UN, in the eyes of the international community, until other countries, they said here, that they start doing proposal, trying to do one or two things to prove that the has been declared, and from that you become a real one. Other states accept you. By peaceful movement after declaration, Other countries, without declaration, we are nobody. Without recognition, we are also nobody. Even that one is the most crucial one. Because without recognition, you must do whatever you like. But with the declaration of the USB, you can't do anyhow. They will catch up with you. There is more things to that as we continue. Why the government, why the declaration is the only ultimate legit way for the new country to emerge and gain recognition when they have dropped armed struggle and go into peaceful movement, diplomatic, political, legal. These are what is being expected from all of us.
3. The Montevideo criteria. For a declaration to have real-world meaning, the new country must satisfy the 4 criteria established by the 1933 Montevideo Convention. 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people. 2. A defined territory, clear, though not necessarily undisputed, borders. 3. A government, an effective political authority that exercises control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations, the ability to sign treaties and engage with other states.
Are you hearing it? Now, I want to ask you in the comment section. On this Montevideo Convention of 1933 that has 4 criteria, do you think that Biafrans under United States of Biafra has met this criteria? What are those criteria? 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people, like the homeland, a defined territory, clear thoughts, not necessary undisputed borders, despite that the border are still under control or under problems or under attack from Nigeria. The world will know that when a new country emerges, there's going to be what you are seeing today. So now, like I ask questions on the comment section, do you think that we have met this criteria of a permanent population? Yes, my brother. There is map here. That is where they call defined territory. Go choose. They call it the defined territory is the map. We have met that criteria. Permanent population prove on our self-referendum vote. The other way, right now, we are going to prove this permanent population by you registering for your ID card. In this modern movement, by you registering for your ID card is another way proving a permanent population of the people of United States of Biafra. If you are in abroad, you must. Without you registering for this ID card, you were a betrayer and you were a saboteur. If you are not registering for the ID card, if you are not taking your ID card, you were a betrayer and you are a saboteur. How? Because you are reducing this criteria of a permanent population. You are reducing this criteria of a permanent population. Defined territory answered in our map of United States of Biafra 40 states map right now. Now, actually, despite our border might be in dispute, doesn't matter. It still remains our territory and our border. Also, I have mentioned about a defined territory. A government, effective political authority. You go 247, come. Mazi, you need to contact me on, please let us pause and address this issue. Mazi, about to say, you need to contact me on my WhatsApp, so I can be able to send you the link. And also, if you know you truly want Biafra, fast, you must go and register for the ID card, including me. Even if I don't have the money, I will go and beg you. Even if I don't have the $100 I will go and beg for somebody to help me to pay. Even if maybe I will pay later. And it's also calling on all the rich men who believe in USB. One person can come out and say, I want to sponsor 10 people with $100. I want to sponsor 5 people. I want to sponsor 2 people. Just let them send me their name. Once they registered, the government, I will pay this amount of money for them. It's also proving how you are throwing your support. Can you wear langwangwa for us to go home very fast? I don't know whether you have my number. If you don't have it, you tell me so I can be able to call the number for you, because I have the registration link on my WhatsApp. So if you are not registering this for this ID card, you are a betrayer, because you don't. This ID card also prove effective governments that are ready to govern a sovereign state, to serve his own people. That is why the ID card is very sacrosanct at this moment that we're into. That you, if you know you want Biafra, if you know you want us to go home, if you know that you want Biafra to become a sovereign state fully, that has been recognized under the international law and the UN, you must take this ID card, because UN will ask this part of the document that is getting us international recognition. The impact of ID card proving also a sovereign state that lack international recognition. Number 4, capacity to enter into relation with other countries. You must be a sovereign state. United States of America did not use United 13 to grab international recognition. No, they use United States of America to get their first recognition from African country, Morocco. Are you listening? Do not mind in some areas. Go 247, then Kubiaka. Go 247, or Choko Kwa Newe him Manampi. Okay, thank you so much. Ugo 247 or Choko Kwa Newe him Manampi. Ugo 247 Dikwe Biafra ID card free. Like I said, I will pass message to Ugo 247. Oh no, Ugo 247 really again Yanyam can wear Zo gadget. Bam Nagashi Dr. Agega her back till today $300. That is Ugo 247. Oh no, he has Raz. Enu Sigela Bago. Ugo 247. Again Enye PayPal account ka ekwunye di ụgwọ. Agwara agwa sịrị na ngiji ekwunye ụgwọ na ihe abụkwa family support ka eji mepe di account. Eje kwụya na business. Si no mistake ka ị mere na ileru anya ọfụma ka I were the money. Etinyezie ego esoro maka ego kushie account to my brother. My brother dekwara PayPal message say ha, let them give you the money back. Ọ bụrụ na ego ahụ na ị chọrọ inye m ya, ma ọ bụ na ndị tụtara ego ahụ gwara gị nye m eziokwu na ọ bụ na iji ihe ahụ ime ka unu wee rie the money from ndị natara ya. Gịnị mezi na mgbe ahụ natara ya ekwughachimara m ụgwọ ahụ wutere ndị akaụntụ back ma esi mba m weta akaụntụ ọzọ ka i wee kwụnye dị ụgwọ. Go247 na onye ohi na-akpọ mmadụ onye 419 ugo 419 ugo ohi nwere ihe ọ na-agba mmadụ. So you can see what is the government is doing and why we all have to adhere to this instruction of taking our ID card. Ugo247, if United of Biafra, like you said, is organization, please, why can't you throw the bomb and damage the ID card of organization? What are you doing? What are you doing with it? Ugo247, if United of Biafra is organization, why can't you burn the ID card which you did not pay 1 naira to have? You got the ID card free as a media personnel of Bridge that are under United States of Biafra government. Ugo247. Not from today we have changed your name. Ugo419. Ugo419. So, my people, we must continue. We have sent message. Message was here. So, number 4, self-determination versus territorial integrity. Listen, so you will see where this law jam themselves and why we must play with caution, because the law jam each other.
Four, self-determination versus territorial integrity. The meaning of a DOI often hits a wall where two core principles of the UN Charter clash.
Are you hearing it? The meaning of the DOL, that is declaration, often hits a wall where two core principles of the UN Charter clash. This is where they clash here. Now the question is, how do they clash together here? Why clash? Listen, because we have entered on the self-determination external versus territorial integrity, or self-determination internal versus territorial integrity. In future or in coming days, we are going to bring out secession internal under territorial integrity and the external secession of independency out of territorial integrity. Yes, coaches, thank you so much. The name is Ugo419. I will tell you before I further go further, because open air with Oku, based on what our brother coaches offer to write here. Ugo247 have accumulated grievances against Obatobie, Simon Eber. What is the accumulated grievances? When Obatobie started, Ugo247 is there. Obatobie never give him any position. Go and check. Obatobie did not give Ugo247 any position. Even when Chiamaka Ajere deviated, betrayed, and walked out, like what he's doing today, because history has repeated on Chiamaka Ajere, the Eggman, Mazi Akpa. Because of now, Obato Obie did not give Ugo 247 that position of Chiamaka Ajere before Chiamaka Ajere comes back. So Ugo 419 was having this and nursing these grievances at the back of his mind. Now, he's repeated again. Chiamaka Ajere deviated. So Ugo 419 was waiting for our DPM or for him for them to appoint him as deputy information minister, and that did not come. Then her madam, who is like Eve, who deceived Adam. Dr. Agi is the Eve who deceived Adam. What do I mean? By telling Ugo 247, I told Ngozi Orabeze to appoint you for me as my deputy, and she refused. Tell me, if you are the one that a woman open her mouth and give and bring that kind of word out from her mouth and tell you, how are you going to feel? Tell me truth. Unless you are genuine, you are freely genuine that you don't want position. That is when that word will not enter your head. But if in the beginning you was having intention of having position or nothing in your mind, once you heard that, oh, I told the government of Ngozi Orabeze to give you my deputy secretary information, and she refused, and give it to Toshi Naman. Could you imagine? Or give it to anybody else? That word from that Dr. Age is to create enmity between Dr. Ngozi Orabeze and Ugo 419. And that is what makes Ugo 247, because there is no position in USB. That is why he ran away, nothing more than that. When nobody told Ugo 247 that, now I told Ngozi Orabeze to bring you in as my deputy information, and she refused. He was standing toe to toe and also believe in United States of Biafra. Today, Ugo 247 has become a dog. My people, I hope you are following my analysis of Ugo 247, Ugo 419. This Ugo 419 becomes angry. Have that he has already have accumulated anger against Obato Obie. When Dr. Ngozi Orabeze or the government of the USB refused to give Ugo 419 position into the movement, and when a lady, her madam, the Eve that are inside USB, like the Eve that was inside Adam's house, who brought the sufferness of you and I today, then this Eve bring this particular word into Ugo 247. Ugo 247 now succumb the way Adam succumbed to the Eve, and the Satan or snake deceived them. So Dr. Agi is the snake, because something lead to something. Ugo 247 has been nursing these grievances in his mind already. Because the snake did not come immediately and deceive Eve. It takes time. Talk to Eve. Talk to Eve. Then Eve agree. And when the man come, because of love of human and their man, the man accepted to eat what Chukwu asked them not to eat. And today, we are suffering. So, Ugo 247 deviated like Eve because of Dr. Agi, who opened mouth and said, Abraham Ngozi Orabeze, call Meg my deputy. Simple mean building another Nigeria, ebe position, not by merit, not by vote. Ugo Dr. Agi bra ko control ube na emezi appoint ndị nke yanwa. Ko we do gang. Na abanye go okwu we so do otu a okwu Maazị Simon Omezuo n'isi ha. Na ị ga nọkwa here no n'ime gang. Mana mama na form wala kaba on your own. That is ihe mezu n'isi Ugo 247. Okwu Maazị Simon Ekpanjoko emezuo n'isi Ugo. Ugo 247 Dr. Agi na Dorati ndị prap wee dọrọ ya wee pụọ maka ndị ọ na-ekpere o. And Dr. Agi and Dorati work hand in hand with Ugo 247. Wee sị na ọdụ otu a wee mee gịnị wee kụọ gangi nke ha wee chee na ha ga-abịa ịkpatu USB re-declared. All the people of America who was and who talked down on America as a country, they did not stop America to be a country. Tell Ugo 247 to tell us the history of Spain getting their independence and those saboteurs in the Spain. If you wait for you for some days, if you can tell us the history of Spain and they have saboteurs among them, I will bring it out for you. I said what? I said I will bring it out to Ugo 247. That is why you see Ugo 2 position is what makes Ugo 247 to be doing himself more harm than good. Ugo 419. Yes, they are turned to become Udele Chukwuka, who is insulting Biafrans. Yes, the goddess. I can see you. Good evening from here. Thank you so much. So let us continue. I have even sent the message because of comment of Coach, my brother Coach Hughes 042. Thank you so much. It's your comment that makes me to go this far, but let us go back where we are. The meaning of ADO, Declaration of Independence for a New Country, often hits a wall. Why two co-principles of the UN Charter clash? Right to self-determination. Listen.
Right to self-determination, the right of a people to choose their own political status. Territorial integrity, the right of...
Listen first. Right self-determination. The right of people to choose their own political status by having a new government, a new country. Now, Agi has used Udele to no more 247. Put it right, Ugo 419. And she hide herself not to receive insult from Omo Biafra. Yes, so from today it is Ugo 419. Ugo Nyohi. But look at that platform. That platform is here standing today. That is the happiness of it. That is the happiness of it. So the right of a people to choose their own political status. Now it is our right under self-determination to choose our political status. Simply mean having a declaration of a new country outright from the existing present country that we are fighting to live happen to be Nigeria. That means a death sentence to every indigenous person.
Of existing states to keep their borders intact.
Do you hear it? This is where this law crash. The same law that will give us the right to exit from a country where we are staying before is also the same law who said territorial integrity, the right of existing states to keep their border intact. That is why we said that the UN Charter must call to amendment or to be dissolved, because it is a confused charter. It is British is the one that masterminded this UN Charter. That is why Donald Trump must do something to ask every organization of that under UN to call for UN to submit under amendment without wasting time, or to adopt more rights laws that are on their own. You are the one that told people that you have a right to choose your political style or status. But what happened? You also the same who are telling the country like Nigeria, where people of United States of Biafra are fighting for, that they have right to put their border intact. The law has jammed. And since this law jammed, UN has not amended because they also are afraid that people from their own country might decide to leave. That is why they cage themselves. Thought they are caging Biafran people under Nigeria. It can never happen. We are out to achieve our goal. Listen.
Because of this tension, international law rarely recognizes a remedial secession, the right to break away, unless the group is facing extreme human rights abuses or is being denied any participation in the parent state's government.
Today, because of this transition, international law really recognize remedial secession, the right to break away, from Nigeria, unless the group is facing extremely human rights abuse or is being denied any participation in the present state government. Today, Biafran people, are we not facing all this? We have been facing this before 1970, before 1967 to 1970 till today. That is why we still remain on who we are, that we are Biafran. We denied a chance of being to also be president of Nigeria. You know how many years that Igbo man from old Eastern region is fully, officially won election in Nigeria to be a president of Nigeria. All these are evidence of why we are living. The marginalization. We face this ongoing genocide of killing Christians that did not started today, that has been there from the day of the amalgamation of one Nigeria by Frederick Lugard in 1914. This is your law of the UN Charter. The right to break away. The right to do what? To break away. And Biafran people under redeclared United States of Biafra have every right to move away because of your constitution, because of your law. And on this remedial external succession is where we stand. That is what break away. Number
5. Practical significance. In reality, the full meaning of a DOI is determined by recognition. UN membership. Getting a seat at the UN is the gold standard of independence. This requires a recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 permanent members have veto power. Diplomatic immunity. Until recognized, the leaders of the new country may not have sovereign immunity, and its passports may not be accepted for travel.
Are you hearing it? Okay, ZK. Going from here. So, in reality, the full meaning of the DOL is determined by recognition after declaration of a new country, gaining an UN membership, getting a set as the UN is the golden standard of independency of after declaration of a new country. The requires are recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 president members have vote power, diplomatic immunity until organized. The leader of the new country may not be sovereign immunity, and its passport may not be accepted for traveling because of what? Lacking international recognition. Do you hear it here? That they need to have a passport. Let's continue.
Key takeaway. A declaration of independence is a unilateral act that signals an intent to become a subject of international law. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself and whether the rest of the world chooses to acknowledge that reality. Would you like?
Do you hear it? Key takeaway for today's program. A declaration of independence is a unilateral act that singly an intent to become a subject of international law. Once you make a declaration, you become a subject to the international law that are protecting the declaration of a new country. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself and whether the rest of the world choose to acknowledge that reality. What is the reality? The declaration of a new country. It is a reality. It is a child of necessity. It is a childbirth. So, you can hear it here today. I will play it without saying a word, so you can understand. After that, our line is open for phone call. Wait, after this, I will call the number for call.
Like me to look into a specific modern example, such as the legal arguments surrounding Kosovo, Taiwan, or Somaliland?
Yeah, listen to this.
In international law, a Declaration of Independence (DOI) is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of any other power. While a DOI is a powerful symbolic and political act, its full meaning involves a complex interplay between legal facts and international politics. 1. The legal status. Is it illegal? Under international law, a Declaration of Independence is generally considered neutral. No general prohibition. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory opinion on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declarations of independence. Domestic versus international. While a DOI may be a rebellion or illegal under the domestic law of the parent state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it a violation of international law. Exception. Unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal internationally if it is connected to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the illegal use of force by a foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. 2. The two theories of statehood. A declaration of independence is the first step towards statehood, but international lawyers debate when that statehood actually begins. Theory. The meaning of the declaration. Declaratory theory. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government. The DOI simply declares a fact that is already true. Constitutive theory. The state does not exist until it is recognized by others. The DOI is an invitation or a proposal that only becomes real once other states accept it. 3. The Montevideo criteria. For a declaration to have real-world meaning, the new country must satisfy the four criteria established by the 1933 Montevideo Convention. 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people. 2. A defined territory, clear, though not necessarily undisputed, borders. 3. A government, an effective political authority that exercises control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations, the ability to sign treaties and engage with other states. 4. Self-determination versus territorial integrity. The meaning of a DOI often hits a wall where two core principles of the UN Charter clash. Right to self-determination, the right of a people to choose their own political status. Territorial integrity, the right of existing states to keep their borders intact. Because of this tension, international law rarely recognizes a remedial secession, the right to break away, unless the group is facing extreme human rights abuses or is being denied any participation in the parent state's government. 5. Practical significance. In reality, the full meaning of a DOI is determined by recognition. UN membership. Getting a seat at the UN is the gold standard of independence. This requires a recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 permanent members have veto power. Diplomatic immunity. Until recognized, the leaders of the new country may not have sovereign immunity, and its passports may not be accepted for travel. Key takeaway. A declaration of independence is a unilateral act that signals an intent to become a subject of international law. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself, and whether the rest of the world chooses to acknowledge that reality. Would you like me to look into a specific modern example, such as the legal arguments surrounding Kosovo, Taiwan, or Somaliland?
Yes, I hope you heard it clearly. The number to call is plus 973360513337. That is the number to call. Remember, the number to call is plus 973360513337. If you may call. Agonaya, thank you. So you meet us today online. You're welcome. Yes, now you're our first caller. Yes, sir. Wanda, good evening from here.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, they go.
You're welcome. Yeah, we are here.
Thank you, sir.
You can see it. Chukwu carry on and on. We are live and direct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ese campo que le no te la. Okay, now we here today.
Yeah.
More my name and I'm able to meet to the time.
Yeah.
Because the image as they come not say somewhere it's fine.
Okay.
Like this evening, I say, let me just check. Check the whole in our life. Let's take out for thank you. Let's go for the CK.
Thank you so much.
The CK, you have really done a lot for us.
Thank you so much.
And I know that it's only God that will reward you.
You see?
It's only God that will reward you. And every other people, both Elena TV, Lion, every one of them. I used to listen to their platform, but I will not talk.
Yes.
I will just keep quiet and be listening, learning. Even to the point, one person said that it's not enough to be in the platform that I should talk. I said, no, let me just learn and listen.
Okay.
God will strengthen every one of you.
Say?
N'ọgụ a na-alụ alụ ọ bịara na njedebe.
Yes.
Ọ bịara na njedebe. When it is tough, that is when it gets loose. And when it is tough, that toughness is to make you to give away. But if you can persist, if you can persist, Bible says you can strengthen yourself in the Lord and push on. You know that the end is very close.
Exactly.
And at the end, we will give glory to God.
Yes, sir.
So I want to encourage every one of us. I know that it has not been easy, but we should not give up. We should continue pushing. I trust you. In any way that you are supporting, you should continue. Don't give up. This is the end, the aftermath. It says God by himself is using his hand to take glory for himself. And we will return all the glory to him.
Exactly.
So it's just a word of encouragement to everyone and to you too. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Don't relent. We are learning more. Every secret, everything has been made open. So nobody will say that I didn't know. If you say you didn't know, meaning that you didn't want to learn and you didn't make an effort to learn. The common sense is making sense for us. I say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
I just thought to encourage you.
Thank you so
God,
much.
even our leader, our DPM, our PM, God will continue to strengthen them.
Yes, sir.
I know it's a normal course that they are passing through.
Yeah.
But at the end, glory will be to God and the victory will be there.
Yes, sir.
And every one of us in Jesus' name.
Amen. He said. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, my fellow dear friends. Thank you so much, my friend. You are welcome. We are here. We are live and direct. I see Olu Shinwa. Thank you so much. We are here. Simple PSCXC. You are welcome also. Thank good evening from here. So, fellow dear friends, we must continue because what we are doing is very important. It's very important because if it is not important, we are not going to be here. Because we need to know what we are doing. Hello, okay, Jasmine, good evening from work. Thank you so much from office. I hail you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Hope work is going well. Elizabeth, thank you so much. Thank you. We are on the side of when you heard about a declaration of a new country. For you to know that is very important. For you to know that without a declaration, you are nobody. And without the declaration, no other outside country have right to intervene into our matter. But with this official declaration, the countries like India, countries like Israel, countries like Canada, Australia, in fact, every country in the world who like us or who want us to be their allies has right to grant us recognition. When America made their own declaration in July 4th, 1776, the America said a confirmed 1 year and 6 months. This United States of America that people are rushing India today. When they make their declaration that today we have announced that our name is United States of America, we are no longer under Great Britain. We are a sovereign state on our own. What happens? America stand 1 year, no 1 year and 6 months. No country in the world gets close to them. After a year and 6 months, a country from Africa called Morocco, they are the first country ever that recognized America as a country, seconded by France in December 1777. They got their first ever official recognition. Then they after that, the year moved to 1778 before they can be able to sign treaties with France. What we are doing here is to prove to you nothing past declaration. If you like, at the date for 20 to 19 centuries or 19 brigadium, nobody will grant recognition except you sit down, introduce your government, and make the official declaration of your country. That is only way out that other countries in the world recognize you, because this is how other countries in the world become a country today. They did not become a country because of agitation. They did not become a country because of protest. We have read history of Namibia. We have also read history of Algeria. And we have read here history of America. That is how they got their independence. And the only person that understands this is Simon Ekpanjoko, who leads us into declaration despite being arrested in Finland. And the strongest woman of our time, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, stood up and make what? Official declaration of United States of Biafra, officially. So, my people, it is very important for us to know. Like I said, I will play it once again. Then I will leave it there for today, because I want this message to go viral to our people, for them to also to have internet to listen to this message. So if you are still playing with our declaration, you are doing yourself more harm than good. That is absolutely what you are doing to yourself. We are not the cost. Thank you, Peter AJ. Happy movement or happy moment. I greet you. We are no longer in the era of IPOB. We are in the era of United States of Biafra. America used a group name like IPOB in their own time. They use United Colonial 13 when they are fighting, like doing agitation like IPOB as organization. They did it. The day they make After that day, they met their official declaration. They dropped that name. They even went back to come and abolish that name. People of Namibia that got their independence from South Africa, starting from 1976 to 1990, use a name called Southwest Africa People's Organization, in abbreviation SWAPO. When they make their declaration on the armed struggle and they drop the armed struggle, they make declaration of that their name is Namibia. They use the Namibia name to build for their diplomatic recognition and every other thing they did. Without the declaration of Namibia, nobody would recognize them. That they use the organization called SWAPO, Southwest Africa People's Organization. That is not them they're answering today. But this is the name they used to fight for them to achieve, for them to come together, for the people to come together. Like Simon Ekpa using government in exile to bring all the Biafrans together, and from there passing a message that leads to our official declaration. So after our declaration, British government in exile dies. It's no longer in existence, except the name being declared United States of Biafra should be all over everywhere. This is how every other country that we have read their history here become a country today. Stop deceiving yourself. Face this bitter truth that are looking to you like this. The meaning of the declaration. Listen again. Listen.
In international law, a Declaration of Independence (DOI) is a formal assertion by a political entity that it is a sovereign state, independent of any other power. While a DOI is a powerful symbolic and political act, its full meaning involves a complex interplay between legal facts and international politics. 1. The legal status. Is it illegal? Under international law, a Declaration of Independence is generally considered neutral. No general prohibition. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, in its 2010 advisory opinion on Kosovo, famously ruled that international law contains no prohibition against declarations of independence. Domestic versus international. While a DOI may be a rebellion or illegal under the domestic law of the parent state, e.g. Spain regarding Catalonia, that does not automatically make it a violation of international law. Exception: unlawful force. A declaration is only considered illegal internationally if it is connected to a violation of fundamental norms, such as the illegal use of force by a foreign power, e.g., Northern Cyprus. 2. The two theories of statehood. A Declaration of Independence is the first step towards statehood, but international lawyers debate when that statehood actually begins. Theory. The meaning of the declaration. Declaratory theory. The state exists as soon as it meets objective criteria: population, territory, government. The DOI simply declares a fact that is already true. Constitutive theory. The state does not exist until it is recognized by others. The DOI is an invitation or a proposal that only becomes real once other states accept it. 3. The Montevideo criteria. For a declaration to have real-world meaning, the new country must satisfy the 4 criteria established by the 1933 Montevideo Convention. 1. A permanent population, a stable community of people. 2. A defined territory, clear, though not necessarily undisputed, borders. 3. A government, an effective political authority that exercises control. 4. Capacity to enter into relations, the ability to sign treaties and engage with other states. 4. Self-determination versus territorial integrity. The meaning of a DOI often hits a wall where 2 core principles of the UN Charter clash. Right to self-determination, the right of a people to choose their own political status. Territorial integrity, the right of existing states to keep their borders intact. Because of this tension, international law rarely recognizes a remedial secession, the right to break away, unless the group is facing extreme human rights abuses or is being denied any participation in the parent state's government. 5. Practical significance. In reality, the full meaning of a DOI is determined by recognition. UN membership. Getting a seat at the UN is the gold standard of independence. This requires a recommendation from the Security Council, where the 5 permanent members have veto power. Diplomatic immunity. Until recognized, the leaders of the new country may not have sovereign immunity, and its passports may not be accepted for travel. Key takeaway. A declaration of independence is a unilateral act that signals an intent to become a subject of international law. Its success depends on whether the entity can effectively govern itself and whether the rest of the world chooses to acknowledge that reality. Would you like me to look into a specific modern example, such as the legal arguments surrounding Kosovo, Taiwan, or Somaliland?
I hope you listen with me. That is why you must know the importance of declaration. Sorry, the meaning of declaration. Now we are going to go why this declaration is important. If you are claiming you want a new country, like somebody who is greeting IPOB community, IPOB is not a country. IPOB is not a country. IPOB is organization being registered by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But every human being who from the old Eastern region is IPOB because you are indigenous person. So let us go why declaration is important under international law and also under international communities. Let us see.
A Declaration of Independence, DOI, is far more than just ink on paper. It serves as the official starting gun for a new entity to transition from a domestic rebel group to an international actor. The
rebel group, IPOB organization, rebel group, fallback bridge, rebel group, government in exile of Bridge or Genkere.
importance of a declaration can be split into 2 distinct categories: its legal function, how it interacts with laws, and its political/diplomatic function, how it interacts with the community of nations. 1. Under international law, the legal trigger. In the eyes of international law, a DOI is a unilateral act that changes the legal landscape in 3 specific ways. Establishing international subjectivity. Before a declaration, a group is usually seen as an internal matter of the parent state. The DOI is a formal claim that the group is now a subject of international law, meaning it can now legally claim rights like sovereign immunity and the right to sign treaties. Defining the legal narrative. The DOI allows the new state to frame its existence through the lens of self-determination, a legal right under the UN Charter, rather than illegal secession. For example, if a group can prove it is declaring independence because of extreme human rights abuses, remedial secession, the declaration provides the legal basis for other states to support them without violating international law. Testing statehood, the Montevideo check. The DOI is the formal moment an entity applies the Montevideo criteria. It signals to the world that it now has a permanent population, a territory, and, most importantly, a government that intends to exercise authority independently. 2. Under the international community, the diplomatic invite. For the international community, the network of other countries, the DOI is primarily a diplomatic signal and a request for recognition. The invitation to recognize. Other countries generally cannot recognize a new state until that state has first declared itself independent. The DOI is the open door that allows friendly nations, like France during the American Revolution, to officially send ambassadors, provide aid, or form military alliances. Transforming conflict status. Without a DOI, a conflict is often treated as a civil war or domestic insurgency. Once independence is declared, the international community may view the conflict as a war between 2 states. This changes which laws of war apply, e.g., the Geneva Conventions, and how other countries can intervene. The opinions of mankind. As the U.S. Declaration of Independence famously states, a new nation owes a decent respect to the opinions of mankind. A DOI is a PR document designed to convince the world that the new country is stable, law-abiding, and ready to participate in the global economy. It reassures the world that the new state will honor existing debts, respect borders, and follow international norms. Summary. The birth certificate effect. Think of the DOI as a birth certificate. 1. Legally, it identifies the child as a new separate person with their own rights. 2. Socially, community. It introduces the child to the family of nations, allowing others to interact with them, trade with them, and protect them. Comparison table. Feature. Legal importance. Community importance. Primary goal. To establish sovereignty and legal rights. To gain recognition and allies. Key audience. International courts and treaty bodies. Foreign governments and the public. Main result. Legal capacity to sign contracts/treaties. Diplomatic relations and UN membership. Would you like to see how a specific country's declaration, like Kosovo's or the United States, was received by the international community?
Do you hear it? For you who IPOB man, hope you're hearing this. My brother from IPOB, I hope are you still here? The bitter truth is what I'm giving to you. Now they refer us to what? Kosovo or the United States of America. Are you listening to this? I hope you are listening. I hope you are listening. Please, if you're first time joining us, like and share the program, please. You will see a 3 dots in front of you. On the right hand side on top of your screen, there is a 3 dot there. Click on that dot, it will open. Then you will see like and share, if you may. And subscribe on the page. This is Real Biafra TV. Once you share it to your Facebook or to your TikTok or anywhere, then what will happen? Then the subscribe will come, then you subscribe. It doesn't take anything from you. It's the same way you are, the way you're going to be. The declaration, the importance of it in the eyes of the international global community and international law. Not important to them. And why do they need it? Or why, whenever you make this criteria, how do you feel about that? That is why we are calling on the world to know that we have passed all this protocol. We have started on this template. You go 247. You go 419. We go 419. Come and hear the template of the world and what they ask us to do. And what the government of the United States of Biafra. I am a proud United States of Biafra. I don't know about you. I am a proud United States of Biafra. Because of they are proving that they can maintain to be a country under US government. I will play it again. Listen. It's not my word. It's a laid down history, a laid down protocol that are there before me.
A Declaration of Independence, DOI, is far more than just ink on paper. It serves as the official starting gun for a new entity to transition from a domestic rebel group to an international actor. The importance of a declaration can be split into 2 distinct categories: its legal function, how it interacts with laws, and its political/diplomatic function, how it interacts with the community of nations. 1. Under international law, the legal trigger. In the eyes of international law, a DOI is a unilateral act that changes the legal landscape in 3 specific ways. Establishing international subjectivity. Before a declaration, a group is usually seen as an internal matter of the parent state. The DOI is a formal claim that the group is now a subject of international law, meaning it can now legally claim rights like sovereign immunity and the right to sign treaties. Defining the legal narrative. The DOI allows the new state to frame its existence through the lens of self-determination, a legal right under the UN Charter, rather than illegal secession. For example, if a group can prove it is declaring independence because of extreme human rights abuses, remedial secession, The declaration provides the legal basis for other states to support them without violating international law. Testing statehood, the Montevideo check. The DOI is the formal moment an entity applies the Montevideo criteria. It signals to the world that it now has a permanent population, a territory, and, most importantly, a government that intends to exercise authority independently. 2. Under the international community, the diplomatic invite. For the international community, the network of other countries, the DOI is primarily a diplomatic signal and a request for recognition. The invitation to recognize. Other countries generally cannot recognize a new state until that state has first declared itself independent. The DOI is the open door that allows friendly nations, like France during the American Revolution, to officially send ambassadors, provide aid, or form military alliances. Transforming conflict status. Without a DOI, a conflict is often treated as a civil war or domestic insurgency. Once independence is declared, the international community may view the conflict as a war between two states. This changes which laws of war apply, e.g., the Geneva Conventions, and how other countries can intervene. The opinions of mankind. As the U.S. Declaration of Independence famously states, a new nation owes a decent respect to the opinions of mankind. A DOI is a PR document designed to convince the world that the new country is stable, law-abiding, and ready to participate in the global economy. It reassures the world that the new state will honor existing debts, respect borders, and follow international norms. Summary: the birth certificate effect. Think of the DOI as a birth certificate. 1. Legally, it identifies the child as a new separate person with their own rights. 2. Socially,
We have a caller. Let us know if you call for your program. No, this is a private call. Sorry, my people. So it's a personal call. The call at the wrong time. So let us continue from where we stop.
community. It introduces the child to the family of nations, allowing others to interact with them, trade with them, and protect them. Comparison table. Feature. Legal importance. Community importance. Primary goal. To establish sovereignty and legal rights. To gain recognition and allies. Key audience. International courts and treaty bodies. Foreign governments and the public. Main result. Legal capacity to sign contracts/treaties. Diplomatic relations and UN membership. Would you like to see how a specific country's declaration, like Kosovo's or the United States, was received by the international community?
We may, not today, sir. We are here to let you know. You see this declaration of the, our declaration of the United States of Biafra that took place in Finland on November the 29th, 2024. They are referring us now to check how America handled their own. In this platform, we have played and explained how America make the declaration of their new country and how they stay for a year and 6 months before they can be able to start welcoming them into the international global community. You had it 2 days ago when we have handled this program here. We are doing this to open our eyes, for us to face reality that is on ground. This is a reality. The child of necessity, the birth certificate that a child has been born. And they said that this generation is to throw the child into a world to interact with other countries on the issue of country, that you must first make declaration, become a country on your own before coming close to those countries in the international global community. When I told that what we are doing is no longer how we think about it and what we reason, no. It is beyond that we think. Look at the way we're supposed to be thinking. Look at the criteria. Look at the template of the world. Look at how we can achieve Biafra. Look at how we can achieve recognition. By number one step, the re-declared of the United States of Biafra was re-declared. And because of it is in this 21st century, the only thing that was added there is United States of Biafra. That is only what's added. So it can be able to be sweet in your mouth whenever you call that name. I know why I'm after playing, I will play it again. I might not go into full details this evening because of my time. Because of other platform I want to be this night. After playing it, listen to it.
A Declaration of Independence, DOI, is far more than just ink on paper. It serves as the official starting gun for a new entity to transition from a domestic rebel group to an international actor. The importance of a declaration can be split into two distinct categories: its legal function, how it interacts with laws, and its political/diplomatic function, how it interacts with the community of nations. 1. Under international law, the legal trigger. In the eyes of international law, a DOI is a unilateral act that changes the legal landscape in three specific ways. Establishing international subjectivity. Before a declaration, a group is usually seen as an internal matter of the parent state. The DOI is a formal claim that the group is now a subject of international law, meaning it can now legally claim rights like sovereign immunity and the right to sign treaties. Defining the legal narrative. The DOI allows the new state to frame its existence through the lens of self-determination, a legal right under the UN Charter, rather than illegal secession. For example, if a group can prove it is declaring independence because of extreme human rights abuses, remedial secession, the declaration provides the legal basis for other states to support them without violating international law. Testing statehood, the Montevideo check. The DOI is the formal moment an entity applies the Montevideo criteria. It signals to the world that it now has a permanent population, a territory, and, most importantly, a government that intends to exercise authority independently. 2. Under the international community, the diplomatic invite. For the international community, the network of other countries, the DOI is primarily a diplomatic signal and a request for recognition. The invitation to recognize. Other countries generally cannot recognize a new state until that state has first declared itself independent. The DOI is the open door that allows friendly nations, like France during the American Revolution, to officially send ambassadors, provide aid, or form military alliances. Transforming conflict status. Without a DOI, a conflict is often treated as a civil war or domestic insurgency. Once independence is declared, the international community may view the conflict as a war between two states. This changes which laws of war apply, e.g., the Geneva Conventions, and how other countries can intervene. The opinions of mankind. As the U.S. Declaration of Independence famously states, a new nation owes a decent respect to the opinions of mankind. A DOI is a PR document designed to convince the world that the new country is stable, law-abiding, and ready to participate in the global economy. It reassures the world that the new state will honor existing debts, respect borders, and follow international norms. Summary: the birth certificate effect. Think of the DOI as a birth certificate. 1. Legally, it identifies the child as a new separate person with their own rights. 2. Socially, community. It introduces the child to the family of nations, allowing others to interact with them, trade with them, and protect them. Comparison table. Feature. Legal importance. Community importance. Primary goal. To establish sovereignty and legal rights. To gain recognition and allies. Key audience. International courts and treaty bodies. Foreign governments and the public. Main result. Legal capacity to sign contracts/treaties. Diplomatic relations and UN membership. Would you like to see how a specific country's declaration, like Kosovo's or the United States, was received by the international community?
Yeah, Franklin, please, tomorrow morning, precisely Biafran time, 6 from 7 to 7, check online. I will give you the benefits. Your question is, what are the benefits of this declaration of the USB? Subscribe on the page, turn notification on. Tomorrow morning, I will give you the benefits. Like this way, I am proving this to you this evening. Please, tomorrow morning, I will give you the benefit. I have it, but because of my time, I have a program to join from Kalenda TV, and the program already started. So I will be there by tomorrow when I will explain full details of this. Where what is here Magino Sotinia Nime tomorrow. Then we can understand it. So my people, from me, from here, it is a wonderful day. Bye for now.